So, hi everyone, this is your Keen Cody. So, I have, I cannot say that I have always wanted to be a content creator, but since when I saw content creation picking up in India, people doing a lot through it, achieving a lot through it, and also trying to bring changes, I have also wanted to do it since then. But uh, and from months I was wanting to make a long video on some things which I am passionate about, but I didn't know where to begin it with and when to begin it with. And I feel as a feminist, what better than Women's Day to begin my journey as a content creator. So this is my first video, and I know it is a happy Women's Day today, but there are two perspectives I hold on this at this moment on that. Firstly, how do I consider it as a happy Women's Day, though it is an international happy Women's Day? How? Because when women across world are not seeing any happiness in their life, how can it be an happy Women's Day? The women of Afghanistan, Palestine, Bangladeshi Hindu women, white women, Sudanese women, fighting for, or the women who are victims of domestic violence, rape, female feticides, and who do not get education. How can we call it a happy Women's Day? But with this, there's also a side of me that knows that the women today who have these rights, who enjoy the right of education, career, employment, all the rights, ha- have fought for this. There have been a generations of rebellion for this, just for the thing that I have in my normal day-to-day life. So it is a mixed emotion on this day, but again, not forgetting that I am here speaking because a generation of women fought before me for what I could do today. So let's begin my video. So firstly, I think when you say yourself as a feminist, the first thing that I always get to hear is boom. Oh, feminist. What? Feminist? Really? The worst thing is so many people don't even know what it means, what it stands for. So let's begin by clearing what feminism means, what it stands for, the terminologies regarding to it, the types of feminisms, and and there are certain slangs or terms used on internet which many people confuse with. So let's begin. The first thing is what feminism stands for. Firstly, you can search it with definitions, but a general definition which I believe could be made out of feminism is feminism is the advocacy of equal rights and opportunities for all genders, is what I believe feminism stands for. Yes, all genders. When I say all genders, I mean women, LGBTQ community, that is the transgender community, and men also. So, yes, feminism does stand for the rights of men also. Feminism just is another word to human rights. Now, its core is nothing but the core ideology that feminism believes in is equal pay or equal or equality across the genders. Yes, equality across the genders. So, when I say equality, it means equal opportunity. Okay, let me be very clear. Equal education, all the rights served equally despite the gender, be it education, be it voting rights, be it career, be it employment, etc. Now, the third thing, and the problem with many people, which many people have with feminism, is It generalizes men as all men. It doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't. It just generalizes the one who are wrong or who are doing wrong to women or who think women are inferior to them. And if you are one of them, then definitely it will hurt you. It will make you feel that, oh, this is dominance. This is not equality. This is dominance. But it isn't. It isn't dominance. It's just women asking for equal rights. And the misconception about feminism, and this is one thing which I hear a lot on internet and anywhere you talk about equality and for women, um, it has gone too far. I genuinely want to know who are these people and where are these, and the audacity to have this line. What? Feminism has gone too far, really? Then if that has gone too far, I have a very basic question. Why hasn't it reached the women of Afghanistan? Why hasn't it reached the women of Palestine? Why hasn't it reached the women of Bangladesh? Bangladeshi Hindu women? Why hasn't it reached the women of white women fighting for abortion rights? Why hasn't it reached women who are victims of female feticide, who do not get education, who are victims of domestic violence, who are victims of rape? Why? If feminism has gone too far, why hasn't it reached them yet? Which means feminism hasn't even achieved what it had to achieve. It is just, it has not even achieved 1% of what it was meant to achieve. So, this was about feminism, its core, it why people are afraid of it, and the most common misconception. Now, before I get into explaining the types of feminism, before understanding what feminism is, there are certain terminologies which are often used. So let's understand them, and they are very simplified. So let's go. So here are some 20 words which I have found, which are very commonly used by feminists, and more often we misunderstand them. We may not know their meaning, and that is when misunderstanding becomes easy. So first, let's understand what they stand for, what their meaning is, and then let me go on with the types of feminism so that you can take your stands where you stand as a feminist. So firstly, patriarchy. Again, my one of my most commonly used words. I basically think I use it every day. I think I breathe on this word, by the way. So patriarchy is nothing but the social system where men hold most of the power, be it politics, be it workplace, be it society, leadership roles, etc. Like for example, I think most of the world in across world there is a culture where man is the head of the family or men are the head of countries. That is patriarchy. Yes, I am not saying that men should not be leading countries, but where the number of men doing that is more than the number of women doing or leading is patriarchy. The second term is misogyny. Misogyny is refers to nothing but the hatred, dislike and prejudice against women. Now, let's make it very simple. So, misogyny is nothing but a concept or thought that women are inferior to men, if you believe that, or disrespecting or insulting women, or unfair treatment of women is misogyny. So there are so many examples which can be given to it, and the primary example is, oh, women can't lead, women can't drive. You see, or in general, I think the most hated word I see is women. We men, yes, this. This is called misogyny, and this is nothing but just pure hatred against women. So similarly, when you say misogyny, there is also misandry. Yes, so misandry, which basically means hatred, dislike, or prejudice against men. So the people who fear feminism are not the ones who fear feminism. Actually, they fear misandry. So I think most of the people misunderstand feminism and misandry. Please don't. Please don't. Feminism does not mean misandry. Feminism is equality, and misandry is the hatred, dislike, or prejudice which people often complain that feminism is, but which it isn't. So you see, it's just lack of basic vocabulary knowledge and blaming somebody for being something without even you not knowing what it stands for. So yes, misandry sometimes, yes, misandry is nothing but the generalizing of men, like all men are the same. Now, I agree it is wrong because I would like to believe that there are good men. I have seen a few good men, but you also have to understand that misandry comes with patriarchy and misogyny. So you cannot misandry is not as big problem as misogyny. Yes, there are women who hate men, but unfortunately the numbers are so less. So please don't consider misandry as a problem because it at this point it isn't. The problem is misogyny. So let's tackle that first and then speak on misandry. Then, the fourth term actually is feminism, but by I think 12 minutes of this video, you would have understood that feminism is equality of all the genders, not just one. So, sexism. I think a very common thing which women face. I have faced it. I rather feel I face it once a week every time. So it is nothing but sexism refers to discrimination, unfair treatment based on someone's gender. And I do not need to say, but I think any working woman watching this video will understand what I am saying. Women are always discriminated or always treated unfairly when it comes at workplace. And I am not saying in terms of payment or in it is just in terms of it is just nothing but soft misogyny at workplaces which women see. So sexism is something which I think women face every day at their workplace. Next, gender equality. I do not need to say what it means. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So it is the idea that all genders should have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. Then, the seventh word is toxic masculinity. Yes, I think this is something which um, is what I think a problem why misandry also exists. Toxic masculinity. So it is nothing but a idea where man is supposed to be aggressive, dominant, and not show emotions. That is toxic masculinity. If you think that, and unfortunately, patriarchal society made it so evident that has made it so normalized that a man being masculine means that not showing emotions or being aggressive, being dominant, which it actually isn't. So our society has misunderstood masculinity with toxic masculinity. So the the slightest difference is that the eighth word, which I believe, patriarchal mindset. So nothing but it is so patriarchal mindset and patriarchal society are nothing but patriarchal mindset is a way of thinking. which is often influenced by patriarchy. That is a system where mainly the men lead and women support. Then the ninth one is gender roles. Yes, again another drawback of patriarchy, gender roles. So it is nothing but society's expectations from women and men that they should behave in a certain way. I will give you a very simple example. I think we often hear that men should earn no matter what, and women should know to take care and nurture. Yes, it is nothing but genderifying basic human qualities and discriminating genders. Next, internalized misogyny. So I think this is something which happens every day around us, but we fail to recognize that it is internalized misogyny. So internalized misogyny is nothing but when women themselves accept or start believing the stereotypes, the gender roles about women, or the general stereotypes about women that society has taught them. Right? I think internalized misogyny. So I think women not supporting women is also nothing but internalized misogyny. Just because a woman is not agreeing to a cultural norm, women tend to not support these women. But again, it is nothing but the effect of patriarchy that women feel if a woman is not in a certain way. That is, if a woman is not a good girl, she should not be supported, and that is internalized misogyny, nothing else. The 11th word is glass ceiling. So it means nothing but it is nothing but a barrier or something like an invisible barrier which uh, often stops women or even minorities. And by minorities I also mean gender minorities, caste minorities, which we do not see in the top positions. Again, even when they are capable of, like, for example, we do not see women in the boardrooms, in the corporate boardrooms, or we even don't even see women in top political positions. That is because of glass ceiling. Yes, women, this does not mean that women are not capable of, or the minorities are not capable of. It is just that the system does not want them to come into the power. Then, 12th, male gaze. So, male gaze is nothing but where often, I think this often exists with the content industry, with wherever content is the king. For example, cinema, web series, um, where women are presented in a way that attracts men. And I think the major example for this could be, I think, in the it is nothing but the movies, advertisements, and more importantly, I think the major example for this could be item songs. I think there's always a debate around item songs that it's made for male gaze. Well, I will make a separate video on that also of my opinion, but for now, yes, that is a prime example of male gaze. Then the 13th word is intersectional feminism. So now this is okay, actually this is a type of feminism, but I think I'll give a brief on this that intersectional feminism means nothing but this feminism understands that different women require different things. Women are oppressed not just because of gender but also because of class, caste, creed, race, religion, etc. So, women oppressed by different factors require different paths to deal with them. The 14th word is objectification. Again, treating a person like a object, not like a human with thoughts and feelings. And this is oftenly done in our cinemas. I do not need to give examples. There are such great examples. You can find out that every other film has something about objectifying women. Where I think, look at our movies. How many of our movies are made with women perspective, and even if they are made with women perspective, how many of them go hit? They don't. So that is objectification, when we do not look at a human as a human, but we look at them as an object, a human which can have thought, opinions, views, but we do not look at them as with that point of view. Then the 15th word is slut shaming. I think this is something which feminists do get around the internet every other time. So, slut shaming is it refers to criticizing or insulting a woman for her clothing, relationships, or sexual behavior. Exactly. I think if a woman wears short clothes, oh, she's asking for it. If a woman is in a relationship, why is she in a relationship? Or if a woman is betrayed in a relationship, it was her fault. Who said her to be in a relationship? And definitely, I don't need to say when um, women go out speaking about their sexual desires, they are slut shamed very often. And these are not common women, these are women who have achieved something. They are slut shamed. So imagine the situations for normal women. 16th word is victim blaming. So I think this is very common, very often seen. So when so victim blaming refers to something when a crime happens and people do not blame the criminal, instead blame the victim. So and I think the prime example could be the rape cases in India. I do not think um I cannot think of a better example than this, because whenever there is a rape, there is a section of society that goes ahead asking that what was the woman wearing? Why was she there at night? What was her job there? Why was she there? Right? We are not questioning that why did the man rape? Why are we not taking any action against that man? But our problem is that why was the victim doing what she did? Then the 17th word is empowerment. Yes, often whenever you say women empowerment, the thought of people is so confined that women empowerment means women education. I am not going to deny the fact that yes, it also means education. Yes, women empowerment includes women education, but just women education is not women empowerment. It has many other aspects included. So empowerment is nothing. Women empowerment just does not mean giving women education, but it also means giving them the confidence, the emotional safety, the security, and control and power and opinion to be they themselves, what they want to be. The 18th, I think the concept 18th thing is equality versus equity, which we often misunderstand. So equality means everybody gets the same resources, like for example, education. We want everybody should get education, no matter of their economic background or their social background, whatever. But equity means uh, people get what they specifically need. For example, okay, I think we can say that not all entrepreneurs require loans. Some just require guidance, right? Like businessmen, or okay, the people who are doing business, not all of them often require money, or not all of them often require guidance. Some of them require both. Some of them require any one of it. So that is what providing with what people specifically need is equity. Benevolent sexism is our next term. So I will read out. So sexist ideas that seem positive but deep down they are not. They show women as inferior, as something. weaker in society, and something inferior to men. 20th, gender stereotypes. Again, nothing but oversimplified beliefs about how men and women should behave. It is again the gender roles which it is nothing. It is just the is similar to gender roles. Gender stereotypes are similar to gender roles. So now, so as I told about all the terminologies regarding feminism, let's go ahead and learn what are the types of feminism. So there are four types of feminism. First is liberal feminism, second is radical feminism, third is cultural feminism, and fourth is intersectional feminism. So let me go on with the liberal feminism first. Liberal feminism means, again, the same as feminism, the ask for equal rights, equal opportunities, but within the current system. So how? Um, through the change of laws, policies, and social norms which ensure that women are equal, women can do what men are doing. That's, for example, equal voting rights, access to education, and careers. so, so liberal feminism believes that women can achieve equality without changing the entire social structure, but just with the changes in the laws and attitudes. Second, radical feminism. Now, radical feminism is nothing but the root which attacks the root of patriarchy, which expects change in the society from the root, not just. So, radical feminism does not just mean change in laws or policies, but it is also the change in whole system, how the whole system operates. Then, I think again the examples can be changing the traditional societal norms that criticizing power dynamics in workplace, family can be the examples of radical feminism. So, radical feminism believes that inequality is systematic, and so to uh, achieve the real change, we need rethinking of social structures, not just laws. We need rethinking of social structures. Thirdly, cultural feminism. So, again, as the name says, it celebrates and values differences between men and women rather than just demanding the same rights. So, it basically means celebrating women for whatever they are, which again nothing but it is again emphasizing about the stereotyped gender, okay, the gender stereotype that women will nurture, will care, will take care of the same thing. uh, Again it means that here, for example, appreciating the women's style of leaderships, women in politics, and making networks and spaces more women oriented. Then we have at last but not the least, intersectional feminism. So I think I did say a bit on that, but now I will go ahead in depth. So this is intersectional feminism refers to how different types of inequalities overlap, like gender, race, class, religion, sexual orientation, disability. So, for example, could be supporting policies for women from marginalized communities, recognizing, so it is nothing but it involves recognizing of poor women or women of color or LGBTQI plus women who face extra challenges. So basically, intersectional feminism means that equality isn't just one size fit for all. different women need different support. So with this you can make out what type of feminist you are. Because if and I want to say something that I personally feel I am a combination of both radical and intersectional feminism. Because um, radical feminist, because somewhere, because I'll tell you, liberal feminism is nothing but change in laws and policies. And the reality is that yes, there are laws about equality, equal pay, equal property rights, but how much of it is implemented in the practical world? Unfortunately, none of it, or maybe very few of it. There, then cultural feminism, which is appreciating women for whatever or however they do, or making women oriented spaces. So it is again nothing but separating us from the reality that this world has both men and women. We have to exist together, not separate from each other. Or just valuing positive things about women won't, just valuing what women have been taught to won't make any change for women. If you want women to grow and progress, we have to be included in the world where men are. And at last, why do I believe I stand with radical and intersectional feminism? Because somewhere the reality is the whole system is patriarchal. The whole system somewhere needs to be rethought, rearranged. And intersectional feminism, because women, yes, there are different kinds of women facing different kinds of issue, and they need different solutions for that. So that is the reason I would call myself as a proud radical and intersectional feminist. So on internet there are also some concepts regarding to feminism that are often misunderstood. The first thing, pick me girl. Now a little time ago I had seen a very famous male content creator who creates content on politics and stuff. Again, he is named Sarthak. Um, I think he also has a show called Sunday with Sarthak. He said something that these feminist women often call the women pick me who do not fit into their ideas of feminism. So one thing, and he also said that pick me is slut shaming, in the sense, okay, I calling out a woman for internalized misogyny is me slut shaming her. Crazy, crazy. I mean, so firstly, I want to say what pick me actually is. Pick me is nothing but a term used for women, most often online, um, who act in a certain way or say things like, "Oh, I am not like other women. Um, I am not like other women," just for the male attention. Again, it is said online, but I think I've also seen versions of it offline, so doesn't really count on that. But again, you see, and the thing is, I calling out the internalized misogyny of a woman is slut shaming, but a woman calling me a slut for choosing to do what I want to is not slut shaming. Crazy. Then there is also another concept of toxic femininity, which we do not speak about, which I think we should speak about. The toxic femininity, I have discussed toxic masculinity earlier, now toxic femininity. So again, toxic femininity often refers to the social expectations and that are placed on women and which are genuinely harmful to women, like that are unhealthy. For example, being, for example, sacrificing. I think, oh my goodness, I think women sacrificing is just so glorified. And I think thanks to media, entertainment, everywhere, women sacrificing is as if some big achievement, but it isn't. For example, oh, she sacrificed her career. Oh, she left that. Oh, she left this. She left doing yoga. She left doing this. She started taking care of her family after leaving that. This is not, this is not great feminine character, or this is not femininity. It is just toxic femininity, which is nothing but unfortunately unnecessary expectations which society has from women. And the last concept that I came across internet was cancel culture. Now, so this is when a person, so this is nothing but criticizing a public figure or boycotting a public figure for saying something offensive, especially against to sexism or racism. For example, um, I think Andrew Tate could be the best example for this. That I think we need a boycott, ban, criticism. Of course, it is all going on him, and that is a prime example of cancel culture. So these were some concepts. So this was all about me, about feminism, terminologies used in feminism, types of feminism, and then some concepts which are often misunderstood. uh, some internet concepts of feminism. So, if you love the content, please do make sure to like, share, and comment your thoughts, your opinions, and subscribing is your choice. Thank you for watching.